everybody. If you're watching this right now, thank you. And for those of you who haven't, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Hey, everybody. I hope your weekend is going well. I have I have finally finished reports and submitting, the final stuff for the end of the year. I am spent. I'm sorry if the way I look is offensive to you. You might want to just go ahead and cut your camera off, and just get gone. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't help it because I'm exhausted. I know I have a pimple on my lip. I have a migraine I'm nursing. My eczema has broken out, and I know y'all like, why are you on here? Because I just want to get this done, but also because that's just what happens at the end of the year. All right, school ends this week. Whew, hallelujah. All right, so review. Love and Marriage, Huntsville, No More Nice Tish, season 8, episode 6. It got better toward the end, but not better good. Better anyway. So let's just start with Trish and Ken. Can we please get more diversity with the names on this show? Because I be mixing people up. There's 19 M names. Moses done came and joined it. Trish and Tisha. Like, it's just, look, I need y'all to work with me, okay? And by work with me, I'm talking to the producers. Anyway, and the casting specialist, whatever the hell they're called. So talking about, they're talking about whether or not they really want to be married or not. And he has questions because she's saying she's scared. And it's because she's been in a bad marriage. Trish, you haven't bothered me really, okay? So I'm going to go light on you as we try to get to know you, because I completely understand why you wouldn't want to get married again. And she was like, well, when I got married, the one thing I do know, yeah, you're great. She was like, but he was too. And then he changed. And that is scary, especially for a woman. And, I understood Ken's point when Ken was like, well, yeah, we're not going to be the same at 45 as we are right now as 37. First off, I said 37. They have an older look to me. I don't know, but whatever. 2, I don't think that's what she meant, Ken. I think what she meant was he turned in a way that was super unhealthy. Not simply not being the same person. Because if you get married at 25, you ain't the same person at 35. But that's a different kind of change if it was like wildly and maybe even possibly abusive in some cases. Because I feel like that's what she keeps alluding to. All right. But Kim was asking clear questions. He was like, is your intention to get married? Like, let me spell this out. Because Trish, at the end of the day, you are still married to this man. And the fact that she hasn't sat down with him to even talk about it. The reason why I am not going in on her, and I won't until somebody shows me something more substantial, is because what it's giving is that she's scared of him. That a lot of her communication has either had to be limited, she had to leave, and I don't believe in going in on abused women. And I could be wrong. And like I said, if I find out I'm wrong, then I'm just wrong. But it's giving the fact that she hasn't filed, they've been separated, but she's still living with another man. She's kind of moved on with her life, and he doesn't want a divorce. Despite his behavior toward her, says to me this is his last controlling mechanism, and maybe she's been scared to face him. That's what I think. All right, but once again, I'm just speculating. But honestly, I think you need a break between finishing the paperwork for a divorce, because still in your mind, it may not be official, and just all the feelings doesn't mean that you're still even in love with him. But just kind of the ending of a marriage, but then jumping into another one is just kind of, but y'all already living together, so whatever. And especially after this runs on reality TV, I'm sure there's going to be some bumps. Nell and Chris, he's going to make her new closet because she has a bunch of shoes. He was like, I don't feel like fighting the fight, telling her to give some of it away because she's not. Little old me, yes, I think that is very nice. And a man should keep his wife happy, especially when she has borne multiple children for him and is, a bonus mom and everything else. I do. However, I have a thing, and y'all have heard me go in on capitalism as well. I do think there comes a point where accumulating very expensive things, which is nice. It's like my father used to say, even if you have 10 cars, you can't drive but one at a time. If you have a 20-bedroom house, you can't be in but one. at a time. And sometimes the decent thing, the kind thing, is to just go ahead and give some stuff away. Especially seeing that there are plenty of people without shoes. And that's not a New York thing. That's an across this country thing, across the world thing. All right. Anyway, she's having a birthday party. We know, because you've already disinvited Martell. Not disinvited him, just told him he wasn't invited, which I ain't gonna lie, that was rude. So she said she's worried about people not getting along and messing up her party. So I was like, then don't have it on fucking TV. Because I didn't realize her kids were throwing it for it, which I do think is nice. But that's the solution. Okay, as we find out, when Stormy tries to invite Tisha, and Tisha's like, oh, it's weird that I got an invitation, and then Mel figures out that she wasn't invited to the event. So clearly being on the show doesn't mean you have to invite people. Okay. When she was worried about their kids showing out at her party, honestly, I don't think y'all need to put y'all's family dysfunction like that on display for us again. The dinner last time was enough. I appreciate Chris always trying to understand his kids, though. Even when his son was going through that and he was like, I'll do anything for my kids. He did not badmouth his daughter, whether she went to a blog or not. And he also showed respect to his wife. Like, I understand why you can't reach out to somebody who doesn't want to talk to you and who's grown. And he was like, I've tried to call. She hasn't answered, but I'm hoping she will. He handled that perfectly, as best one can in that kind of situation. Respect your wife, but that's still your baby, and you're not trying to treat her any different than the others. Because obviously she feels as if she has been treated differently, and she may have. Because this is only what we see. All right, and whoever keeps writing that dumb shit in my comments, oh, Nell gonna come and fight you, bye. Just bye. Get the fuck out of my comments, okay? Just stay out of them. Moving on. Okay, Maurice and Kimmy. Honestly, they can go at this point. I just feel like they are staying around for the familiarity of the show. They are designing some kind of eatery or something, and they want the building to be done quick. Kimmy says she doesn't want Marceau to work on it because his projects go slow. The strip mall isn't done. We've been hearing about Scott Manor for 8 seasons. Yeah, Kimmy made that argument. She made it well. Marceau did the exact thing in the confessional that Kimmy said he did. She was like, and the thing is, when he goes slow and you come to him about it, he always has excuses and basically gets defensive. My question is, why the fuck did y'all bring this shit up at dinner? If y'all don't want to hire him, don't tell him and don't hire him. And working with family, by and large, is a mistake. Everybody knows family is easy to hire, hard to fire, because it's too personal. Is it me, or does Maurice throw Kimmy under the bus regularly? Like, he started the whole conversation. He was like, obviously, I want y'all to do it, but Kimmy doesn't. And I'm sitting up here like, he did that for years with Kiowa. Even after she disappeared for seasons and came back, Maurice did not intervene. He just stirred the pot. And it's really giving that Kimmy gives more in that manner. I mean, disproportionately more than he does. And I don't know. It's not me. I'm seeing what I see. Anyway, Tisha is a brainless individual who thinks by, puffing up on the screen, we're going to believe it, and we're not. And when she said, well, it's a two-way street. Marceau, would you even want to do work for them? And he goes, absolutely. Because Marceau, whether he does a good job or not, understands it's a job and it's a way to get money. Girl, Kimmy, first of all, let them do the bid with the construction work. They're not, and don't give it to them. And Tisha, shut the fuck up. Anyway, Ken and Courtney, they knew each other from childhood. We don't care. Stormy and Trish and them, they're going to Nell's party in 2 separate party vans. You have the Scotts, and then you have Stormy, Trisha, Ken, and Courtney. What the fuck was Stormy wearing, y'all? She looks like the chick from Players Club. It's not cute on her. There is no amount of makeup, a switch in hair that can really make Stormy cute. So I feel like the least she could fucking do for us as she's on TV is try to be a nice, decent person. But she can't do that. And so now she's both. Trish said, Tisha told her, that's already a mess when the sentence starts out like that Nell can get all in your face than the other, and Stormy changes depending on who she's around. Honestly, Trisha wasn't as messy as she could have been. Y'all know how I feel about Stormy. But even when I heard that description, I honestly wouldn't describe Stormy that way, though. It was like she changes in front of who she is. No, she's a messy chick, but she's a messy chick all the time. I don't think that's fair. Each party band was essentially gassing each other up for when they get to this party for some foolishness, and we saw it. So Nell's party, do y'all find it weird? To me, it makes me uncomfortable. And that's just me because I don't like, and it may seem weird because I'm on YouTube right now, but I don't like to have a lot of pictures of myself. Like even the art in my home is not like of me. I mean, I have family pictures, but I don't like to look at myself. So when people have parties and there's like these big shoots, like remember how Sheree would have her face all on the wall? And Nell's big, and granted, she may not have thrown this party for herself, but I'm looking like, that's all I got to say about that for now. All right, it's weird. So the Scotts are messy. I mean, it's not like I'm just realizing it, but it's just like, why are y'all the way that you are? So Kimmy didn't have to ask if Lexi was coming to the party, and y'all knew all that shit was on the blogs. Tisha didn't have to answer and say, you didn't see her interview? She don't want to be bothered. So one of the cousins, because Kimmy asked, well, how's the family doing with it? And the cousin was like, well, the family is unbothered. Then Marceau jumps his bitch ass in there, which is what Stormy was talking about, and says, why do people brag about being unbothered? And goes on this lecture / tirade about women's business that he was not invited into. And I said, Stormy, come get this motherfucker, please. Just get him together, because Tisha cannot and will not. So they are too willing, them people that were sitting there, too willing to discuss including Nell's son, to discuss their family business with strangers. And yes, they are strangers because they're not family. Okay? And it is looking like Lexi's on the outs because y'all seem ready to talk about her. And it appears to me in many ways that she has been scapegoated in the family. Now, I still ain't over her telling her father she's going to come back and burn down his house. Now, something tells me you also need your ass whooped. But the way the siblings act when the other one's at the table and called her the B word, it really seems like Lexi was reacting to a lot of things that have been done. And shout out to the person who made the comment, was like, quit suggesting that her mother poisoned the well. I mean, they weren't talking to me, they were talking to somebody else, but in the comments, but poisoned the well. And I'm like, yeah, we know that it was kind of like a blurry line when Fletcher started dating Nell anyway. How a kid interprets that, how they feel, it matters. Anyway. So Mel walked in straight stunting, girl. I said, come on, bodysuit. Mel walked in. You can tell everybody thought she looked great. Let's not act like people don't wear their shades at night in the club with an outfit when it goes, okay? And Mel's worked. Tisha did what jealous fucking bitches do. I was triggered watching it, okay? How are you going to walk up to another grown-ass woman and say, take those damn shades off? First of all, y'all not even friends like that, so it wouldn't even been funny. And then proceed to snatch them off her face. And Mel was like, Mel could, let me tell you something. You lucky Mel has a lot to lose and clearly has a lot more self-restraint. Because, Tisha, some people would have just bopped you out of instinct. Because at the point in which you're coming in somebody's face, they have the right to block and hit you because now the instinct is to push somebody off of you. You were actually very lucky. And then you kept antagonizing Mel. Jealous chick, and Tisha is jealous. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Jealous chicks like that always and will literally try to eclipse you when you are that beautiful and smart and have it going on by deliberately doing something to your outfit, makeup, look. Even if they're pointing out like one of your hair, you have a hair sticking up, and it could be like something nobody else even sees. Hell, the bitches could be making it up, but just anything they can say that's rude that will try to get the attention off of the fact that you're beautiful, you're the one in the room. And so we can talk about pretty privilege, and yet there's privileges with that. But there's also a lot of catty jealousy that leaves a lot of girls very lonely and unable to make friends because of bitches like Tisha, who are basic and who people aren't threatened by, and therefore will go out with them without these kind of things happening. Tisha, you are not that fucking girl, and you are not going to look like Mel in this life or in your next life. Next. So then you with your ignorant, weak, messy ass Tisha going to say, well, you were talking about Marceau. And Mel goes, yeah, and I'm going to talk to him individually about that at another time. There's a time and place for everything. Bitch, it's Nell's party. Don't act like you and Marceau haven't been gossiping like Girl Scouts and shit before this. She literally just walked into that party and all of that happened. If Nell was not her friend, I know Mel is like me. She would have gotten the fuck up out of there. Because that's me. Why is Tisha looking for a fight? We know you can't fight. Your cousin threw water in your face. And you sat there. You are feeling yourself because you're in front of the cameras. And for some reason, you feel like, well, nobody's going to really do anything to me. Despite Kiki showing you the contrary. I don't know if you're trying to prove to people you're tougher than you are, but all you look like is somebody trying to imitate a person with a certain kind of personality that you don't have. Anyway, okay, girl. So Stormy, Tisha, I'm going to tell you this right now. Stormy whoop your ass. Now, I've never seen her fight anybody on this show. But something just in me can believe that Stormy knows how to fight and that Stormy will fuck you up, Tisha. So if I was you, I'd back up a little bit. Actually, back up a lot of it. Okay, because I don't think you want that. Stormy and Courtney then walk in. They greet each other like adults do. The men do at least. You know, Stormy says hello, whatever. She doesn't make a big thing out of it. And yes, I do think people can say, oh, well, I'm not fake like that. I'm not fake like that. Sometimes you have to go along to get along, particularly when it's a situation where you care about the person who's supposed to be central, which is Nell. And you got a scene and cast and just going about your business. You don't even have to have a conversation. Stormy didn't pick a fight. And we've seen Stormy pick fights on this show, but she didn't pick up anything with Tisha. Tisha was being so wild and negative, asking, why is Nell so late to her party? When it's your birthday, bitch, you can be late. Go home, Tisha, if you don't like it. I would never want to see, when Nell walked in that party and was grinding on Fletcher, and granted, I get it, they grown, they married. I would never want to see my mama acting like that. Acting young and being young are two different things, and I'm going to need these people that should be the elders, to take the word from Mel, in the community to act as such, but them days are gone. At your age, not your shoe size. Shout out to Prince. His birthday was June 7th. Okay. So Nell comes to sit down and talk with them because we know she clearly has to film a scene for her birthday party. But she apparently hasn't had a lot of birthday parties. She was like, my first birthday party was like at 40. I wonder if she grew up Jehovah's Witness or something weird like that. I remember going to school with a girl who's Jehovah's Witness, and I used to feel bad that she couldn't have a party. And they were Jehovah's Witnesses, and her mother kind of surprised her one day and let her have a party at school. And she told me, she was like, so it's so when my father wouldn't find out, because my mother wanted to still let me have a party. And we were like in second grade. Anyway, so I don't know. Don't ask me where that came from. Yeah, so Tisha is giving, Nell a half hug. I'm like, girl, this is a party. You didn't have to come. And it just seemed like you were itching for a fight. Now, somebody who can be messy did not initiate any of this. So Mel makes a little joke and said, I told her, just tell everybody you're 20. People always make jokes like that at the party. Whatever. Then Tisha interrupts and says, well, she looks 30. I was like, now see, if somebody else was like just kind of regularly joking, you would take that as a compliment. Oh, I look 30, but I'm really older. The problem is after Mel had made joke, yeah, girl, just say you 20. She's trying to imply, oh no, but she looks old. Like that's what she was trying to say. Then Nell said, do we have to discuss age? She was joking. It wasn't defensive. It wasn't nasty. It was not rude. But Tisha was on one. Okay, and was young like, we do, what? I said, bad, give me 50 fucking feet. This bitch is on my nerves through the screen. So Kimmy tries to smooth it over by saying, well, she can talk about whatever she wants is at her birthday party. The bottle girls or candle holders, whoever they were, I'm going to try to be as polite as possible. Bodysuits, body bathing suits for a club are not for everybody. I know I can't be the only one to notice. And I, for one, will first say I'm in that group. They're not for me and my shape. They're for people like Mel and Kimmy. Moving on. Mel hit the nail on the head when she said the way Tisha is acting and throwing it back, she's in danger of turning into Miss Wanda. And I said, apples. Apples, apples, apples. Anyway, so Nell told Tisha, Tisha was like, well, yeah, I'm trying to look like Trish or whatever. And Nell said to her, she said, well, you better get busy because people like us got work to do. Now, see, Tisha, you can't really snap back because, see, Nell still was self-deprecating. So it wasn't like she was saying, oh, I look so great. Anyway, Stormy wants to do a fitness competition. I can see Stormy has lost weight. It hasn't fixed that face of hers, but that, whatever. So Mel changes the subject, which is good. Okay, and asks if, Trish, because she's new, if she's always been a trainer, and she says no. I became one after my parents passed, and they passed within 7 months of each other. You have my sympathy. And condolences, even if they are very late. That's painful for anybody. And she said that my motto became like, I want to live past 55. Because clearly they were young when they passed. And why did Kimmy go like, what? Like somebody had said, yeah, you have to drink 4 margaritas before you leave tonight. It just came off as insensitive. The way she said, I don't know. It just came off as insensitive. Like, why are you shocked? Like, yeah, you can be shocked like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But it just seemed like, I don't know. Something about it seemed insensitive. So they asked her if she's married, and she said, I was, or I am, but I'm engaged to somebody else. I said, oh shit. It's about to get bad. Honestly though, Trish, it's better that even though you was kind of here, there, everywhere, that you just kind of put that out in front. Because on reality TV, I think you actually got on here really to disperse the rumors that were in Huntsville rather than doing them one-on-one. This way you can just get on a show that everybody watching in that horse and buggy town without addressing every single person. Also, Trish, you're better off being on reality TV and being honest about a messy situation up front instead of trying to cover it up like Phaedra Parks did. Y'all remember when she first came on. So Ken has changed his story from, they were separated 3 to 4 years to at the party, they were separated 5 before I came into the situation. Ken, for your own sake, and knowing that Bible thumpers got to be all around you, I would just get my story straight. That's all I'm gonna say. So Mel asked, well, how long have y'all been doing the paperwork? Mel basically got rid of Martell in less than 2 years when they had 4 kids. Not that other mess didn't happen. 4 kids, did the bankruptcy filing, all this other stuff. Maurice is giving legal advice and is like, with 5 years, you can finagle your way out of that if you wanted to. I said, ugh. The Scots, they messy. Now, that's helpful, but you could have kind of just taken him aside. But nope, that ain't the Scots way. So Tisha starts picking another fight with Nell, calling her feisty or whatever. And once again, it's not what you say. Those kind of things aren't always a big deal. It's the way you say it and the fact that you have been fucking with her, taking these jabs. And Nell actually was very gracious about it initially. So Nell took it well, those first several punches. But that was all unnecessary. Mel is me. When it gets too loud in public, I will put on my shades like that and dance to music like I don't hear these other people talking, because I told y'all before, I do not do public arguments and disagreements. Now, it seems like they just kind of had a private venue or whatever, but you're not going to take me from here to here. And the only reason why I would stay at something like that is because it was one of my close friends or close family members, and I wouldn't want to be the person that just leaves and act like, But, Tisha, you was doing the most. Am I the only one confused? Like, Tisha, what the fuck is your problem? This ain't the first time you drank on TV. Something is wrong. Tisha starts going in on Stormy for the invite to the Galentines and unleashes another problem because Mel realizes she wasn't invited. Even though Mel invited her to that dumbass tea party she had last year, and her ghetto ass mama came and was going in on Mel, this, that, and the other. You can invite Tisha, who you met through Mel, but you couldn't even send out an invite. But Mel, we all know she wasn't gonna go nowhere. Anyway, which means that's where it left us, and we shall see what becomes of this next week. Please be sure, if you saw this video, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.